to the other person's true self, instead of going from triggered to be in our own false self, speaking to the other person's false self. Then we will have we will sort of go down into a circle of negativity. If we do the opposite, we will go in a circle of positivity and more love. So this is something we could each practice in our daily life, to feel when I'm going to make a choice, I'm going to respond. Am I coming from this itchy feeling of being angry, frustrated, jealous, or am I coming from a more soothing, loving point within myself? And then I know which part I will respond from. When it comes down to the bigger choices we have in our life, one way is, again, to practice to bring in our true self by going through these steps of finding how to exist and being in that light. And when we are there, we somehow know what choice we want to make. We don't need to use our mind so much. We can actually, from that inner beingness, we know where we want to go, and the mind might come in and say, no, you can't do that.
Right.
You're not going to make enough money. You're not going to be rich if you make that choice. But we somehow know from within how we want to progress forward in this time. We might want to do that with someone helping us to be in that space. I might ask questions to us. I have done that with people when they want to make important decisions, to help them to bring that more deeper wisdom within, and then asking questions where they can't use their mind, so to speak.
And you, like we have said before, you found your own path. You didn't work with a guru or a spiritual teacher. You did, study different aspects of Christianity and Buddhism and Taoism. Did you feel that you found like a common thread or a common truth or a common awareness or insight as that followed each culture or religion?
Yes, I did, but it was interesting. It was reverse. I didn't study all these religions deeply to write this book as a sort of bringing everything together.
Right.
I wrote this book, and then at the end, finished in the book, I thought maybe I should connect it to many of these religions. And then I went in and looked, and I said, oh my God, everybody's saying the same thing. It is. If you go very, very deeply into the core of things, it's very similar. And I truly believe, actually, that many of these concepts that I present in this book was the original teaching of Christ. Actually, I can't prove that, but that's my sense what it was, and it's also very similar to what Buddha said and so on. So it's all. I think there is some level of truth. We just have to. It's very difficult to communicate that, and therefore we have to use different languages or use metaphors and so on that makes it to look different, but it's all the same.
Now, I'm going to ask you a question that is not off topic, but I had asked this to my first guest. In creating our choices here in this reality, in our life, how can we create more of a heaven on earth?
Yeah, so I devote a little bit a chapter on this, actually, which is the last chapter, called The Divine World, where I say that it all starts with ourselves. Yes. We actually, if we do the work, each of us, to transform what is false and coming more to our true self, and we work then by expressing the true self, our divine aspect, and we connect with other people's true self, even when they are doing aggressions, even when they are doing expressing their false self. We still seek to express that towards their true self, which is actually their meaning of turning the other cheek. We are doing that. We will then, all of us, help to manifest the divine world. And as we also are seeing through our true self that we are all connected in a deep way. We have all different personality and experience life from each of us on an individual basis, but we are all deeply connected. And as we start to see that we actually, when we are not separate, we are actually working together, we will manifest something extraordinarily beautiful. I'm very convinced about that.
And I believe the work that and the work that you do is really catering to prove that on a scientific level as well. I mean, you're doing work here that not only incorporates the spiritual aspect, but you're actually kind of proving it on a scientific aspect. Am I right?
I mean, I'm not per se. I'm not per se. I wouldn't say that I'm per se trying to prove spirituality in a scientific way. I'm a scientist, and I'm actually excited to be a scientist, also for the reason that, as I put in the book, that we are something much bigger than this world, and we are just experience this physicality, this physical world. And I think science is the tools to really understand how this physical world operates. It is not the tool to understand where we come from, where we originate from, but it's the tool to understand the physicality. And it's such a beautiful journey to be with spirit in human form and get to experience how this physicality really works by doing science in it.
Now, what is next for you? Because you were just on, goodness, it just escaped me. You were just on a documentary with Morgan Freeman, and the name of the documentary just escaped me.
Through the Wormhole.
Thank you. Through the Wormhole, yes. Talk to us about that. You were just on that as an upcoming scientist of the 21st century, and what's next for you? Because you're one of the great minds of our century, and I'm curious. I want to know what's going on.
So one of my passion is actually, if I just speak a little bit scientifically, one of my passion that was why I was on the Morgan Freeman show was that I'm studying water and trying to understand really how the molecular structure of water works, and I think water will eventually hold a lot of key for us to understand many things also about biology and our human form and so on, because we are all made of water. Actually, you are, depending on age, between 60 to 90% water. So that's one of my research topics, and I'm also working on artificial photosynthesis, where we have a vision that in the future maybe we can make all our fuels coming from sunlight and water, and also taking carbon dioxide back from the atmosphere and so on. So these are visions, I think, for scientifically for the future. On the spiritual side, a little bit, I'm planning to work on another book, which probably will take quite some time. But the plan of that book is actually the future. How can the future look like?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, please keep in touch with me because I want to have you back on with that one. And this is, audience, I really, really, truly encourage all of you to get The Gentle Way of the Heart, Discover the Light Within. The Gentle Way of the Heart, Discover the Light Within by Anders Nilsson. It is a wonderful, wonderful book. Edgar Mitchell endorsed the book, and let me just read what our astronaut Edgar Mitchell wrote. He wrote, "This book describes a spiritual path that is simple to follow and based on the principles of love. His focus on gentleness and kindness is the perfect antidote to the trials and tribulations of the world we live in." And that really sums it up, because when you look at what we have to overcome in this world, we need so many more minds and souls like Anders Nilsson to give us the way and the light and the insight to guide ourselves in a more heartfelt, integrity, love light way. And Anders, this has just been a true gift to me to have you on the show today. And I want to guide everybody to you or your book or your website. So please take your time in telling the audience how they can connect with you. Of course, they can find The Gentle Way of the Heart at Amazon.com. But go ahead. Let them know how they can connect with you, your website, and whatever you would like to promote.
I have the website is up now called gentleway.me, M-E.
Okay.
And on that website, I will also post more information coming up. Also, I've written 3 essays on that website due to some discussion with various people. People can read that, and there is a contact form there if the audience wants to make contact with me, and if there is any upcoming events, it will be posted on that website.
Oh, wonderful! So gentleway.me. Gentleway.me, everybody. Okay. Anders, thank you so much. If there was one message that you could give our audience, what would you like to leave our audience with today?
I want to give just one word, and that is that in these times that we live in now, I often hear that people are afraid of what's happening in the world. I just wanted to give the message to people to believe me when I'm saying this. There is a good world out there. We don't just get to hear so much about it. Keep the light and the compassion in your heart and shine it out to the world. It needs it, and everybody will also can feel that compassion jointly. Everybody together.
Oh, Anders, that is beautiful. I have been doing that since I was a small child, and I taught my children to do that. And when I'm even with a snarly cashier, I'm sending that light out and just waiting for that smile to crack on her face. So it does work. It really, really, really does work, and that is the most powerful statement I've ever heard anybody say on my show. So audience, please take heed and listen to Anders Nilsson on Shining Your Light from Within, because the world needs your light. God bless you, Anders. You are a light, and thank you so much for being on Unlimited Realities today. It has truly been my pleasure, and have a very blessed, safe travel today. I know you have a very busy schedule ahead of you, so thank you so much for taking time for Unlimited Realities and talking with me today and showing our audience how to provide more of a gentle way of the heart. God bless you, Anders, and all your work. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Thank you so much, Lisa. And I also want to send my blessings to all the audience and everybody. Thank you so much for listening to me. Goodbye.
Thank you so much. God bless. Take care. That was an incredible, incredible, incredible guest, everybody. I am so glad that I was able to provide his insight and wisdom for you, because I truly, truly believe he's one of the pioneer scientists for us in our 21st century. I just have a real intuitive knower telling me he's coming out with some more genius upcoming. Stay tuned. So thank you, audience, for tuning in. I am so glad to be back doing my live shows again, and it's going to be a very fun and full holiday season with my shows upcoming. I've got Danian Brinkley scheduled for December. I've got some wonderful, wonderful guests. And thank you again for tuning in. God bless you all. Shine that light. And when they're making you snarly, just breathe deep and still shine that light. God bless you all. All my love, all my light. Thank you for joining us. Have a very, very blessed Thanksgiving. Amen.
Amazon has everything for back to school. Zebra lunchbox? Check. Cool Adidas gear like t-shirts, shoes, and backpacks? Check. Triceratops folders and pencils? Check. Laser Cat t-shirts? Check. Get your back-to-school shopping done now at Amazon.com/back-to-school and enjoy free shipping on millions of items. No need to leave your home or hassle with crowds. Amazon.com. No better place to get everything back to school from A to Z. Amazon has everything for back to school. Zebra lunchbox? Check. Cool Adidas gear like t-shirts, shoes, and backpacks? Check. Triceratops folders and pencils? Check. Laser Cat t-shirts? Check. Get your back-to-school shopping done now at Amazon.com/back-to-school and enjoy free shipping on millions of items. No need to leave your home or hassle with crowds. Amazon.com. No better place to get everything back to school from A to Z.